Hi, so today I want to make a video about the dangers of synthetic vitamins and isolated minerals. So I wrote an article, a very detailed article on my blog, on my website. So I invite you to go have a look, to read this article. It will have much more details than this video because I want to try to keep this video short as much as possible. So please go read my article if you want more details. You will find my sources, you will find the scientific studies I will talk about in this video. So I will put the link under this video in the description box for my article on the toxicity of synthetic vitamins and isolated minerals. So why do I think that synthetic vitamins and isolated minerals are toxic? Well, I think they are as toxic as chemical drugs, actually. There's a big pharmaceutical industry behind it. Just like for chemical drugs, it's actually the same mafia. So yeah, of course, there are some labs, some independent labs that don't sell drugs. They just sell supplements. So it's not all black or white. There are some good kind of honest labs making supplements, making vitamin supplements. But you need to be aware that the big pharmaceutical companies, they make drugs and they also make synthetic vitamins. So again, it's kind of the same mafia. And if you know me, if you have been following me for a while, you know my position regarding chemical drugs. I think they are very toxic. They have tons of horrible side effects on the long run and on the short term also. So I never recommend chemical drugs. And yeah, so in my opinion, synthetic vitamins are no better than chemical drugs. And, I have been studying vitamins a lot, like 2.5 years ago. I spent several months studying vitamins in details. And that's when I realized the toxicity of isolated vitamins. And personally, I can't believe that anyone who has seriously studied vitamins and minerals can recommend synthetic vitamins and isolated minerals and can say that they are equal to the ones that you can find in food. If some people say that, because I see that all the time. Yeah, but ascorbic acid is the same as vitamin C in food. It's the same chemical structure, so it's exactly the same thing. So it will act the same way on your body. People who say that, either they are ignorant about vitamins. They didn't study it. They didn't study vitamins, really in depth. So either they are ignorant, either they are dishonest. And, maybe they are dishonest because they sell vitamin supplements. Because again, like when you study vitamins, it's something very obvious. They work together. All vitamins work together, and they work also together with minerals. They work with enzymes. They work with amino acids. Isolated things like that, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals, they are toxic. They are toxic on the long run because they are not supposed to be isolated. Anyway, before talking about scientific studies and so on, I really want to encourage you to use common sense because it's something that more and more people forget about. More and more people, they just accept what other people tell them or what they read, and they don't think for themselves. Use common sense. Most people forgot about common sense. This is the basis. Common sense and logic. When you use common sense, when you use logic, does it make sense to you to say that a product made in a lab from refined and processed products is equal to a food that comes from a living being, from an animal or from a plant that has grown in the earth under the sun? Does it make sense? Does it make sense to consider that a vitamin extracted from a plant or an animal and then isolated from its original matrix has the same properties on its own as a vitamin in its original living matrix, linked to other vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes? And in nature, would it ever be possible to come into contact with an isolated vitamin or an isolated mineral? And considering that our body has evolved with nature for millions of years, does it make sense to put in our body artificial elements that never existed until 100 years ago? Do you feel that it is better for your health to get your vitamins from this or this? So, in this video and in my article, I will talk about, scientific studies. I have read tons of scientific studies on the subject. And, usually when you say things to people, they always answer, where are the scientific studies? So I will talk about scientific studies. You will find the scientific studies I used in my article. But scientific studies are not enough to, understand nature, to understand health. So personally, I use 4 different things when I do my research, and for whatever I tell you in my videos and in my article, it is based on these 4 different things I use. I use scientific studies, but as I said, it is not enough, because you can actually find one study that says, black, and another study that says white. You will find one study that says meat is very dangerous for you, and you will find another study saying that meat is great for you. So it depends on many, things they list. It depends on how they make the studies. It depends on many different parameters they use in the studies. So that's why scientific studies are not enough. So I use also common sense, as I was saying. I use ancestral wisdom. That's why I talk about Western pride in almost all of my videos. Because our ancestors, if they were that stupid, we wouldn't be here today. So they had knowledge about health. They had knowledge about nature that unfortunately has been lost now. So yeah, I use ancestral wisdom. And I use my personal experience. I use, my experience, things I tried on myself, on my body. And I use my experience with other people, with my clients, what worked for them, what worked for me, what didn't work for them. So I use these 4 things in everything I tell you. That's what I use to find the truth. Or at least something that comes close to the truth. So talking about ancestral wisdom, so if you've read Weston Price's book, you can see that our ancestors, were much healthier than us, even though they didn't know anything about vitamins or minerals or any of those, details we focus on in our modern world. They were very healthy without knowing these things. Sorry, there are mosquitoes all around me. It's very distracting during my video. So, if you didn't read the Weston Price's book yet, I really encourage you to do so. Read his book, or at least watch my video about Weston Price. I will put the link up there. It's not my video, actually it's an old footage that I just uploaded on my channel. But yeah, usually when I say that to people, when I talk about our ancestors to people, they say, yeah, but our ancestors, they had great food. They had like 100 times more vitamins in their food than we do nowadays. So yeah, of course, they could be healthy only with diet, but we can't anymore. Our vegetables are empty of nutrients, so we need to rely on vitamins and minerals in pills. So my answer to that is yes, it's true that our modern food is devoid of nutrients compared to our ancestors' foods. So yes, it's true, but I don't think the solution is to compensate with something artificial. Because why are our foods devoid of nutrients? They are devoid of nutrients because of our modern agricultural techniques. So since the beginning of the 20th century, and especially since the end of the Second World War, we have completely changed our agricultural system, and it has become completely artificial. So we have killed life in the soils, and by doing so, the plants growing on these soils are completely empty of nutrients. So it's our fault. It's because of the artificial fertilizers we use. It's because of the herbicides, the artificial herbicides, fungicides, insecticides that we use in our crops. It's because of all these artificial things that our food is devoid of nutrients. So now your answer to compensate, this that was caused by something artificial is to take more artificial things. This is not my way of thinking things, like it's because of artificial things that we are in this situation, and you want to resolve this with more artificial things that are synthetic vitamins and minerals. So I don't think that's the solution. I think the solution is to go back to nature. I think humans need to stop transforming nature. They need to stop thinking they are better than nature, because it's not true. We can see it with our health. We can see it with our environment. Since we have changed nature so much, we are, sicker and sicker. So this is not the solution. This is not what I think we should do to get healthier. It's not getting more artificial things in our life. It's going back to nature. It's going back to, natural agriculture, if we can, say that. But meanwhile, I don't think taking artificial supplements is the answer, and I will explain why in this video. I will give you, my solutions in the end of this video, because
our food is devoid of nutrients. So if we can't, solve that with synthetic vitamins and minerals, what can we do? So that's what I will answer at the end of this video. So anyway, if what I just said doesn't make sense to you, if to you it makes more sense to get your vitamins from pills rather than from food, I don't think I can bring you anything. I don't think what I will tell you in this video and in my other videos, will make sense to you, because, some people just, I won't be able to convince you in any way. Again, for people who really believe in technology, who really believe artificial things are the future, just leave my YouTube channel, because we can't agree on that ever. So bye-bye. But if common sense makes you think that synthetic vitamins are maybe not the answer, stay with me and I will detail that in this video. So, number one, synthetic vitamins are not the same as natural vitamins. They are made in laboratories, okay? It's completely different from something natural. Vitamins are manufactured in laboratories from organic materials that are transformed, refined, and extracted with toxic chemical solvents like ethyl acetate, like acetone, like methanol, like hexane, So hexane is not really used anymore to extract vitamins, but it is still used a lot to refine vegetable oils. And you find vegetable oils in some vitamins. So you will find some hexane in some vitamins. So hexane is derived from petrol, from oil. You will find solvents like isopropyl alcohol and 1,2-dichloroethane. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And this one is a chlorinated hydrocarbon. Many of these solvents are carcinogenic. All of them are toxic to the liver. And you find them in your synthetic vitamins. Also, several vitamins are made from coal tar, especially B vitamins. Other vitamins are made by fermentation of laboratory yeasts on refined sugars from, GMO corn or from wheat, stuff like that. That's how you make vitamin C, for example. So again, common sense. Does it make sense to you that we make vitamin C from, refined fermented sugars, with yeast in a lab? Does it make sense to you? To me, it doesn't make sense. But it's not only about common sense. There are studies, again, if you believe only in studies. I will come to that. So we also often find in these supplements titanium dioxide, that is a nanoparticle that is toxic. We can find soya derivatives that are often GMO. We can find BHT that is prohibited in Europe but not in the US. We can find maltodextrin. We can find artificial colors. We can find preservatives. We can find lubricants, anti-caking agents, or fillers. And yeah, coming back on vitamin C. Most vitamin C supplements in the US are made from GMO corn. We know that GMOs are very toxic. In Europe, it's not always made from GMO corn, but it's made from, from refined grain sugars, processed with yeast, fermented with laboratory yeast. So it's not much better. So I will go into details of some vitamins now, synthetic vitamins made in labs. So like the B1 vitamin, the synthetic B1 vitamin is made from coal tar, from ammonia, acetone, and hydrochloric acid. It is much less absorbable than natural B1 because it is not bound to phosphate. It's not natural. Naturally, it's bound to phosphate. Its structure is crystalline, unlike vitamins of plant origin. Many synthetic vitamins are crystalline. The crystals accumulate in our tissues and in our bloodstream, and they cause inflammation. Synthetic vitamin B9, that is called folic acid, it does not exist in natural foods. Here also, its structure is crystalline and is not easily absorbed. It must be converted to its active form in order to be absorbed. It is made with petroleum derivatives, acids, and acetylene. Synthetic vitamin B12 is made from cobalt and cyanide, which are fermented to produce cyanocobalamin. 1 in 5 people have a genetic mutation that prevents them from properly converting this form to active B12. And absorption of large amounts of synthetic B12 can lead to cyanide poisoning. Isn't it nice? Synthetic vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is a vitamin made from the fermentation of genetically modified corn sugar or wheat sugar, hydrogenated and treated with acetone. Synthetic vitamin C does not include the flavonoids and other cofactors that gives its properties. Okay? I did a whole video about synthetic vitamin C. I will put the link up there. Go watch my video for more information about vitamin C. Synthetic vitamin E is made from a single compound of vitamin E instead of 8. There are 8 compounds that make vitamin E, natural vitamin E. When you supplement with vitamin E, synthetic vitamin E, there's only 1 from 8. Synthetic vitamin E is created from refined oils, from 3-methylhydroquinone and isophytol. Wow, these words are so complicated to pronounce. If they are, it's because you never use them in your everyday life. This is not natural. So why do you want to absorb these things? Synthetic vitamin E is not easily absorbed. It does not stay in your tissues for as long as natural vitamin E, and it is quickly eliminated from the body like a toxin would or a foreign chemical. Synthetic vitamin E has adverse effects. It is incompletely metabolized, and it can even disrupt the metabolism of natural vitamin E in the liver. And synthetic vitamin K is called K3, and it's so toxic that it has been banned from developed countries. But unfortunately, this vitamin K3 synthetic is still used in some third world countries. So it's very bad. Another point is that vitamins work in synergy with their cofactors. They do not work in isolation. Look at this. This is the vitamin and mineral wheel. It shows the interactions between the different vitamins and the different minerals. They all work together. If you supplement with one isolated vitamin or one isolated mineral, you will create deficiencies in the vitamins and minerals that are linked to this one. All B vitamins and choline work together synergistically. So if you supplement with 1 or 2 B vitamins, you will create imbalance in all the other B vitamins. But not only, again, because B vitamins are linked to other vitamins, to other minerals. So it's impossible to get the right balance with synthetic, vitamin supplements. The excess of synthetic B1 and B2 interferes with B6. This is a big problem in the US because in the US, your cereals and your flour are fortified with B vitamins, and it's, more B1 and B2 than B6. So in the US, many people have B6 deficiency. Vitamin C, as we said before, is not only ascorbic acid. Vitamin C, the natural vitamin C, includes rutin, bioflavonoids, vitamin K1, vitamin P, factor J, tyrosinase, the tyrosinase enzyme, ascorbinogen, copper, okay? So this is natural vitamin C. Nothing to do with synthetic vitamin C. That is only ascorbic acid. That is only a tiny part of it. And also vitamin C works in synergy with vitamin E, which works with selenium. Vitamin D3 works with vitamin K2, that works with zinc, magnesium, and other vitamins and minerals. Many of these minerals, such as zinc, copper, and magnesium, are necessary cofactors for vitamin activity. Another point is that synthetic vitamins don't work as well as natural vitamins. Pure isolated vitamins do not cure scurvy, pellagra, beriberi, or other diseases caused by vitamin deficiencies. Only vitamin complexes do. Okay, scurvy is caused by vitamin C deficiency. You cannot cure scurvy with synthetic vitamin C, with only ascorbic acid. It won't work. Beta carotene is only a pro-vitamin A. It's not the active form of vitamin A. The real, active form of vitamin A is retinol, that is only found in animal products. So when you take a supplement that has beta carotene, it will be toxic for many reasons. Like, first of all, beta carotene is not the only carotenoid. So when you take beta carotene, you will block the absorption of the other carotenoids in your food. That will cause issues. And also, many people cannot convert beta carotene into retinol. They cannot convert it very well because of genetic mutations, because some people don't have the enzymes to do that, Also, many people have dysbiosis in their gut. So when you don't have the right bacteria, you cannot convert many things, many vitamins. So yeah, beta carotene is not a very effective, vitamin A anyway, even if it's natural. Regarding vitamin B9, so folic acid, recent studies show that the liver is limited in its ability to metabolize folic acid at oral doses greater than 260 to 280 micrograms. So after a certain amount of vitamin B9 in your body cannot convert it. So it will just float around in your bloodstream. It will accumulate in your body, and because of that, it will be toxic. And your body can make this conversion of folic acid into real, B9 vitamin only with vitamin C, vitamin B3, and vitamin B12. So if you only bring to your body folic acid, your body needs to take vitamin C from its tissues, take vitamin B3 from its tissues, take vitamin B12 from its tissues to utilize this folic acid. And therefore, you can become deficient in these cofactors. Regarding vitamin C, again, any good natural vitamin C will stop gingivitis quickly, because gingivitis is the first sign of scurvy. But ascorbic acid, that is the synthetic vitamin C, does not have the same effect. It won't cure gingivitis like natural vitamin C does. For vitamin E, you need 3 times the amount of synthetic vitamin E to get the same blood levels of natural vitamin E. Regarding vitamin K, there are many forms of vitamin K. So there's vitamin K1, there's vitamin K2, and regarding vitamin K2, there are many forms of vitamin K2. Most are fermented forms, they are created by fermentation activity. There's only one animal form of vitamin K2, that is vitamin K2 and K4. Our body cannot use the fermented forms of vitamin K2, like the MK7 that you can find in supplements, as well as the animal form. Only the animal form MK4 is easily utilizable by our body. Another point is, so synthetic vitamins are toxic. Many studies show that. Studies show that more cancers have been found in people taking beta-carotene and vitamin E supplements. High amounts of synthetic vitamin A from supplements can be toxic, especially for people with impaired liver function and for people whose diet is deficient. So you must have heard many times that vitamin A is toxic in large amount, especially, including natural vitamin A, but it is not true. Only synthetic vitamin A is toxic. Natural vitamin A is not toxic. Vitamin A warnings usually include mention of Arctic explorers who died of vitamin A toxicity from consuming polar bear livers. In fact, these explorers did not die eating polar bear liver. They only suffered from exfoliative dermatitis and hair loss. In 1988, a team of Swedish scientists discovered that the livers of polar bears and seals tend to accumulate metallic cadmium. And the symptoms of cadmium poisoning are exfoliative dermatitis and hair loss. So this was not caused by natural vitamin A. In an experiment made in the 1940s, synthetic vitamin B1 was shown to make a group of pigs 100% sterile. High doses of vitamin B1 can also cause fatty infiltration of the liver in the absence of the naturally occurring synergistic choline. A study showed that consumption of synthetic vitamin B3 increases appetite, oxidative stress, and is a major cause of obesity in children in the United States. So this can explain, not on its own, but it can explain why there are so many obese children in the US. It's because of the fortification of breakfast cereals and of flour in the US. We don't have that in France, for example. We have fortified breakfast cereals, but our flour is not fortified, fortunately. the UK has suspended its fortification program after it was found that cancer rates increased due to the addition of folic acid. And Ireland did the same. And studies also in Chile show the same, that the fortification with folic acid, so vitamin B9, was toxic. Over 50 years ago, research showed that synthetic folic acid supplements accelerated leukemia in children. And also folic acid masks B12 deficiency that causes pernicious anemia. So when you supplement with synthetic B9, you can become deficient in B12, but it won't show in your blood tests. And also studies find that epileptics may have worse seizures because of folic acid supplementation. And also, there was a very interesting experiment that was made in the 1940s by Dr. Agnes Faye Morgan. She took 2 groups of dogs and she gave them a vitamin B deficient diet. Okay, and so one group of dogs only had this, vitamin B deficient diet, and the other group of dog was supplemented with synthetic vitamin B. And in the end, they observed that the group of dog that didn't get the supplementation, they got like the classic symptoms of vitamin B deficiency, that is fatigue, poor digestion, impaired growth. But the dogs that were given the synthetic vitamin B had much more serious illnesses because of this synthetic vitamin B, including progressive neuromuscular degeneration, paralysis, and death. And they gave these results to the FDA, but less than 2 years later, the FDA approved the fortification of flour and breakfast cereals with synthetic vitamin B, knowing that it was toxic. Ascorbic acid kills bacteria, pathogenic bacteria, but good bacteria also, because of its strong acidity. When you take ascorbic acid, it works like antibiotics in your body. Regarding vitamin D, synthetic vitamin D has been linked to hyperactivity, coronary heart disease, and allergic reactions. Large doses of vitamin D, but also vitamin E, have been shown to significantly decrease immune functions. High levels of synthetic vitamin D cause brittle bones, growth problems in children, increase risk of cardiovascular disease and cancer. So when you read these studies, it shows that it's only when you take crazy amounts of vitamin C, like hundreds of thousands of IUs of vitamin D. Did I say C? I meant vitamin D. But I personally think that it's toxic even when you take like 5,000 or 10,000 IUs per day for months, because the problem of many of these studies is that these studies are only on several weeks or months. Some very rare studies are made observing people for years, and it's only after several years for some of these vitamins that you see the toxicity. Like for vitamin E and beta carotene, for example, it was a study made through like 5 years, I think. And if you did so, and they found it was very toxic and it can cause cancer. If you did the same study on only 3 weeks or 3 months, maybe it wouldn't have shown that it was toxic, but it is, and especially on the long term. So even if vitamin D, studies about vitamin D show it's very toxic only with very high dosages, I think vitamin D is very toxic, even at average dosages, if it is taken on the long run. And vitamin E has been shown to be toxic also for the brain, for the cardiovascular system, for pregnant women, etc. And regarding the supplementation with minerals and trace elements, so watch this. Okay, this is the mineral wheel, and here again you can see the relation between all these minerals. If you supplement with one mineral, look the other minerals it is attached to. I mean, look at the other minerals it works with synergetically. You will cause imbalances if you supplement with one mineral. Even if you supplement with 2 minerals, even if you supplement with 3 minerals, you will cause imbalances. It's impossible to, copy the perfection of nature, to copy the perfection of food, regarding the vitamins and minerals. So that's why minerals are toxic. They are not, it's not the same as vitamins. We can't really talk about synthetic minerals as we can talk about synthetic vitamins, but minerals are toxic because they are not supposed to be isolated. And also trace elements are supposed to be, taken in very small quantities. That's what we get in our water, in our food. They come in very small quantities. When you start supplementing with trace elements, trace minerals, that's when it can become toxic, because you will have crazy amounts of them in your blood, and that induces toxicity. These trace minerals include chromium, copper, iodine, iron, fluorine, manganese, molybdenum, selenium, and zinc. And many people are supplementing with zinc these days, and this can be toxic. A symptom of zinc deficiency, but it's also a symptom of zinc toxicity, is the loss of smell and taste. We have been talking about that a lot these months. It shows that very often when you try to prevent some symptoms with a synthetic supplement, you can actually create these symptoms with that synthetic supplement. So what is my solution? What do I suggest? So this is what I do. This is what I recommend. So, okay, you cannot get enough vitamins and minerals from your food, from your regular foods. So what can you do if you won't supplement with synthetic vitamins and minerals? So my answer to that is supplement with concentrated foods, Don't take synthetic isolated vitamins. Take concentrated foods that will have a higher concentration of vitamins, natural vitamins and minerals. For example, for vitamin A, you can eat liver regularly if you are deficient in vitamin A. Or you can buy liver capsules, like the brand Ancestral Supplements, they do that. So they concentrate. I don't know how many livers they can put in one capsule. This is liver concentrate. This is vitamin A concentrate, natural vitamin A. For B vitamins, same. Eat liver, eat whole grains and seeds that you prepare correctly, that you soak, you ferment, and you cook properly. Okay, as I show in my videos about anti-nutrients. Or you can also supplement with nutritional yeast that is very rich in B vitamins. I don't really like nutritional yeast because it's not really natural. It's made in a lab. And also I don't like it because it can cause dysbiosis, and actually many people with gut issues, they actually are intolerant to nutritional yeast. But if you are not intolerant to nutritional yeast, if you don't have gut dysbiosis, then supplementing with nutritional yeast for several weeks can help if you are really deficient in B vitamins. But I would not supplement with nutritional yeast for months or years. No, in my opinion, it should be short term. And especially for people who have diabetes, they like many diabetics have B1 deficiency. And in that case, if they really need lots of B1, nutritional yeast can be a good idea, but again, it depends. For vitamin C, choose 100% acerola powder with no additives. Watch my video about vitamin C to see the one I recommend. For vitamin D, eat cod liver in a can. Okay, here in France, in Europe, it's very easy to find canned cod livers. I'm not sure in the US if it's easy to find, but I know you can buy them on Amazon. Vitamin D has been shown to be stable on heat when it's heated. So don't worry about it. You will have lots of vitamin D in canned cod livers. For vitamin E, consume wheat germ oil, and this is the richest, food in vitamin E. For vitamin F, that is to say omega-6 and 3, eat fatty fish or supplement with a quality krill oil, like a good one, a good brand that you can trust. For vitamin K1, the easiest is to drink vegetable juices. Watch my other videos about vegetable juices on my channel. For vitamin K2, you can supplement with emu oil. And the best brand for supplementing with emu oil is Walkabout. Okay. And for mineral deficiencies, you can eat seaweed. You can supplement with seaweed concentrate. You can drink Quinton water, Quinton seawater. You can also supplement with natural magnesium, that is Nigari salt. And you can also drink clay regularly. I have a whole article about how to, cure mineral deficiencies. It's on my blog. I will put the link under this video. And most important of all, you need to stop eating processed food, junk food. Stop eating that shit. Okay? Eliminate all chemical poisons from your environment. Eat a good diet made of whole foods. Cook at home. Follow the Western A Price diet or the primal diet. And of course, you need to take care of your gut. If your gut is damaged, if you have leaky gut, it doesn't matter, how well you eat, how many supplements you take. If your gut is destroyed, it won't be able to absorb the vitamins and minerals. So heal your gut. I have many videos on my channel that explain how to heal your gut. I have a course on how to heal your gut. The link will be under this video. Okay, that's it for today. I see you in the next video. Bye bye.